Hey guys, Stephanie here with craftfromtheheart.weebly.com, and today I've got another video for you for the March series of the National Craft Month. And today I had doing a collage where you cut out pictures from magazines and books and put them together and make little posters or pictures. And it's kind of like a kid craft and stuff. And I was going to do that there, but I was reviewing my list, and I've got some more crafts on down that kids can do, so I'm going to do something different today with some more clay. I know I posted how I do my clay molds this month, but it's not part of the month series. So I'm going to do today's episode based on jewelry making using clay. So I'm going to go ahead and get set up, and then we'll be right here. Okay, so what you're going to need is some clay. I'm just using the Polyform air dry clay. However, if you want to use the baking clay, you can. But I'm using the air dry clay. This is just basic white. And you're going to need a tracing paper. And then you're going to need either an ebony pencil or a graphite pencil, something that you can write on the tracing paper and it will transfer to the clay. As far as tools, you'll probably need an X-Acto knife to do the trimming, as well as you're going to need some tweezers probably, and you might even need some scissors. So when we get this here done, I'll set it aside. It has to dry for 24 hours. Then tomorrow when it's dried, I will decorate it, and I will put here as part 2 of this video. However, part 2 for tomorrow will not be tomorrow's video of the month series. It'll be a different video. So you'll get 2 videos in one, I guess. But today I'm just showing you how to decorate jewelry, making jewelry with clay. So the first thing you want to do is we're going to go ahead and draw on, which is a regular pencil, what kind of sketch and stuff that you want for your jewelry. For this one here, I'm going to make a heart pendant. For the first one, now while that is drawn, I'm going to go ahead and get my clay out for it, and you'll need quite a bit of clay. So up there, I'm going to just knead it in my hands a little bit. Now, the one thing I hate about white clay is if you got any little thing on your hand, like right now I've got paint on my hand and stuff from doing some previous projects. And so it might transfer from the white clay, but that's the reason why I said we're going to decorate it, because I don't like just solid white jewelry. So I like color. So I'm just kind of kneading it here in my hands, just working it and stuff in my hands and getting it all warmed up. If the clay is in a cool temperature room like mine, it doesn't harden. I keep it airtight, but it gets kind of I don't know how you want to say it, kind of stiff or whatever. So when you warm up, when you're kneading the clay like this, it warms it up and it helps it to be manipulated a little bit more easier. So I'm just going to go ahead now and roll it in a ball. And then once it's rolled in a ball, you're going to need something to roll it out with and flatten it out with. So I'm just going to use my Aleena's original tacky glue bottle to roll over it and flatten it. Well, let me change the bottle. That one there. I'll use my Tack It Over and Over bottle because it's got a lid on it. I lost the lid to my Aleena's tacky glue a long time ago. And so I'm just kind of flattening it out. Find something a little bit harder. That one up there ain't working either. There we go. So I'm flattening it out now on here. You want it to be kind of evenly all the way across it. You don't want to be bulged in the middle and then towards the ends be really thin. So I'm trying to flatten it out evenly. Now, once it's flattened enough to where you like it, you don't want it too thin, but you don't want it too bulky and thick either. So once you do that there, you're going to take your sketch and your ebony pencil and go right over top of the drawing Now, if you are pretty good freehanded with clay, you could just shape a heart out with your hands. However, I'm not that good with that stuff, so I'm just going to use a stencil. Some shapes I can do okay with freehanding, but not much of a heart. Okay, so I'm putting the ebony pencil on pretty thick so that way it'll transfer pretty good for me. Okay, once I have it transferred, I'm going to lay it right in that middle, and I'm going to use my fingers to go over the lining, pressing down kind of like a rub-on. If you ever used rub-ons before, it's kind of like a rub-on. So putting it on there as well. If you wanted to, and I'm going to do it real fast to show you, you could use your scoring tool to help score it on here as well. But you don't have to. You could just use your fingers. Okay, then you're going to raise it up, and it will look like that. Ain't that pretty? Now you're probably thinking, well, that's an awful big heart, but I wanted it to be big a little bit. So now I'm just going to use my X-Acto knife and cut out around it. And you want to kind of do an up and down motion, because if you just try to drag it, it'll rip the clay and it'll tear the heart. So you kind of want to do an up and down motion. However, if you've got a clay knife cutter, you could use that one out there. You can use that there as well. It does not have to be an X-Acto knife. This is what I've got on hand, so this is what I'm using. I just started getting into clay last month, but air dry clay is a little bit easier. But now I have found that if I ever got into baker's clay, baking the clay, I would probably buy one of those easy bake ovens and do it, unless I'm doing a big project. But and then now all you do is pull it off nice and easy. You don't want to force it out if you don't feel like it's cut good enough. Now I'm just going to roll the excess back in a ball, because we're going to use it in a second. And I'm just going to reshape it. You might want to take your fingers and kind of smooth down the edges a little bit. And you're going to try to keep it flat. And don't worry about the edges too much, about flattening them really good, because once it dries, you can take a nail file and just scrape around it and get all the loose little nips and gnats out of it. So, there we have it. Ain't it just beautiful? Now I'm going to lay it on my paper here where I had my heart. And I'm going to cut this out down some, so it won't be so big and bulky laying up here drying. Okay, so I'm going to lay it over to the side to let it dry for 24 hours. And then there we go. So the next one I want to show you what we're going to do with is making a bow. Yes, I did say a bow. Okay, so I'm just kind of rolling this back up in a ball here. And I'm going to take some of it off. I'm not going to use much of the clay. A little bit more. Okay, so you're going to roll it in a ball. And then once you have got it rolled in a ball, you're going to roll it in a barrel shape. Back and forwards like this. Try to keep it even. And then once you get it evened in the barrel shape, now we're going to start to use our fingers and roll the insides out a little bit more to make them a little bit more thinner. Not a whole lot more, just enough to maybe about like that right there. This one here needs to be a little bit thinner out more though. like that there. Now, once we have both sides thinned, you're going to take your tool to flatten it and flatten it just like that there. So it's going to make kind of an oval. Woohoo! It rolled up on me. Now I'm just taking my fingers and kind of shaping it like how I want it, because some of it got off course. Now, once we have it shaped like this right here, you're going to take it, let's pick it up. Oh, there you go. Okay, there. And you're going to fold it in and fold it in. Now, if you feel like if there's too big of a bow, you can always cut it down or whatever. But this right here is going to be for an altered item I'm working on. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take some of this right here, roll it in a ball, and put it in a barrel form as well, keeping it kind of straight. Once you have it down pretty thin, you know, not too big, you're going to flatten it. You don't have to really worry about the ends too much because that's going to be too long anyway, so don't worry about it. And now we're going to raise the middle of the bow up and place it in the middle. And you're going to need to take your tweezers now and mark in the middle where it's at. To mark your middle, kind of like right there. That way, once we put the strip on here, we'll know where we need to push and pinch in at. And if it gets a little raised bumped or anything, just put it in there. Show it who's boss and put it in there. And then you can kind of push it down, manipulate it there a little bit. There we go. And tear off the excess. And there you go. A beautiful little bow. And like I said, we'll decorate these items tomorrow. Go ahead and cut off a piece of this paper here to store it on until it dries. And because we have a little bit of excess left over, a little bit of the polymer clay left over, I'm going to go ahead and make something out of it just so we can, I won't have to put it back in the bag because it's kind of dirty. So I'm going to go ahead and roll it in a ball. And let's flatten it out. And I'm going to completely freehand something out of this one. So let me see, where's my pencil? I'm going to use my ebony pencil here. There we go. And I'm just going to cut it out now. Using that up and down motion again. Okay, let's see if we can take it. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Like I said, don't force it off until you know for sure it's cut it around it. And there we go. A little freehand drawed mustache that I will now be storing it on. Okay, let's go ahead and heat you up. I'm going to try, and that's like I said, I'm not no good at this. I'll try to manipulate this in here into a heart as well. But I can't guarantee nothing because I just ain't very good at it. Okay, so So it ain't perfect, but there's kind of like my freehand heart. So I'll go ahead and lay all this stuff over to the side to dry. And that there will be completing my video for today. And I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you all learned something from it, as well as inspires you to make something of your own of clay. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and check out my blog at www.createfromtheheart.lily.com, and stay tuned for the rest of this month's video series for March National Craft Month. Bye!